Hi everyone, I thought I would talk about how I plan on using the Hobonichi Techo Cousin, this is the Avec, planner to maximize my days. Now notice I'm not saying plan. I don't really use this as a planner. I use it as a tool to really capture the most that I can for my days. And I'll go into what that means more as the video goes along. So I do not use this as a to-do list. I don't use this as a calendar or agenda. I use this in ways that research has shown helps people really maximize their days in terms of energy, in terms of gratitude, in terms of happiness, and in terms of getting things done. So there's a lot of videos that will go through the Hobonichi and walk you through it, so I'm not going to really do that. You can find plenty of those elsewhere. So I'm just going to jump right in and talk about how I use this planner to have the best possible day that I can. So let's get started. The first page I'm going to go to is the daily page. The Hobonichi has a day on one page layout as part of it. It's all grid, by the way. So here we have plenty of space for daily planning. Now, a lot of people use this to write to-do lists or whatever. I don't do that. I wake up in the morning and I journal. I got this idea from something called The Artist's Way, and I'll put all the links to all these, the research and the other books and tools and blog posts that you can look into about why I do these things. So this is from The Artist's Way, and they actually recommend writing 3 pages, but there's just one here, and I think that's fine. Any writing is good. And what it does for me is that it helps me really wake up in the morning. I am not a morning person, so it just gets my mind going. It gets me excited about the day. It gets me thinking about what I have going on. It just starts getting my brain fired up so that I don't just fall out of bed and roll into the kitchen. So there is plenty of space here. The lines are quite narrow, so you can get a lot in. It's probably similar to a page and a half in a regular composition notebook. So there's plenty to do, and you can also just doodle here or have ideas, basically anything you want to do in the morning as soon as you get up or very close to when you get up, just to get your mind going. At the top here, there's a little bit of space. Instead of starting the day here and going down, I actually write something that I'm grateful for. So I might say coffee, tastes good, gets me up, whatever. Or I may have 3 separate things, but I try to get a couple of things in that I'm grateful for. And again, research shows that starting your day with a little bit of gratitude can just set you on the right foot. I've been doing this in a separate journal. It hasn't changed my life, but it does. Well, journaling has really helped. It really helps me wake up. The gratitude part hasn't super changed my life or anything, but I do like it. It has helped somewhat. It does help me start, frame my day, bookend my day with positive thinking. So it does help. If you're somebody who is kind of cynical like I am, this might really help you just have a more positive day. So that's the daily pages, and that is how I am planning on using those. The next thing I'm going to show you is the weekly layout. It is a vertical layout. It goes from 6 until midnight with half-hour increments. There's space at the top here with 3 little checkboxes, some space at the bottom, and space on the sides. It's a Monday start. Most people, when you see vertical layouts, whether or not they're timed, will use this like an agenda or a to-do list. They'll put their to-dos here, more here, and say, okay, noon, mail the thing, or 6 to 8, whatever. I do not use planners like that. I do not do to-dos like that at all. I have a separate to-do list. I pretty much use the Getting Things Done system, and I'll link to a keynote speech by David Allen if you have not heard of the Getting Things Done system. And I pretty much have just a running to-do list on an app that I review daily and weekly, and I just schedule things onto my calendar and in the app when they need to get done. So I don't plan things out here. And the reason I don't do that is because, and by the way, excuse any work noise you might hear outside. I think they're doing some landscaping. Anyway, the reason I don't do that is because, well, I'm a freelancer for one. I work at home. My days are very different. So let's say I schedule for the week, workout from 8 to 10 and then breakfast, blah, blah, blah. Well, if I maybe don't get out of the house until 9, or if I have a client deadline, so I need to reschedule things, I might not be able to do, my workouts or my work or anything else the same time every day. And so then I get all thrown off, and it's super annoying. So I never pre-schedule my days, just maybe like, appointments and meetings and things that I have to go to. So what I do instead is I will be logging my time here. And I got this idea from a book called The Effective Executive by Peter Drucker. I'll link to that in the description. And he suggested if you really want to get a sense of your time, and if you really want to maximize your time, you first need to see where you're using your time. And the only way to really know that is if you log it. You can think that you're using your time in a certain way, but you'll never know until you or somebody else logs it. He suggests having your secretary do it, but obviously most of us don't have that luxury. So what I'll be doing is logging. And that way I can see, like, okay, was I spending time on projects that matter, or was I just BSing all day? Was I on Facebook or Twitter, or was I doing things that maybe somebody else could do or that I could automate? So for example, I have figured out a way to go to the grocery store pretty much only once a week. So I'm not spending time, an hour a day or whatever at the grocery store. I just go once and then I'm done. What I'll also be doing is noting down my points of highest energy and lowest energy. And this is becoming more and more crucial to me because I have realized that I have an afternoon slump. Between about 2 and 5 or 6, I am pretty much useless. So I shouldn't be trying to get work done and getting important things done during that time, because even though I have, that 4-hour chunk, maybe I have it free. If I'm just like super tired, I'm just not going to get like my important things done. I'm not going to do a good job of my client work. I'm not going to be able to be creative and come up with new ideas. I'm just not going to be able to do things that require a lot of mental or physical power. So I try to save that time for doing like, if I need to buy things online or just do a little cleaning or whatever, just kind of low energy things. So then I'll save my things that require higher focus for those times where I do have that high focus, which are generally for me between 8 in the morning and 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and then again after 6, and then before 9. So I'll be like logging my days, and I'll just be marking with a color or just a note or something where I've had the highest energy, my lowest energy, and then back up again if it goes back up. That way, as my weeks come, so I'll notice that same pattern: high energy, low energy, high energy again. As I plan my next week, on my to-do list or in my calendar, I'll know to okay, next week I have a client deadline, so I'll need to get that work done in the morning. And then I'll just make myself do it. I won't actually write it down unless I actually do it. So this way I have a lot of flexibility with my time, but I also know when the best time to do things is, and I just know to do those things at that time. The other thing I don't like about pre-scheduling days is that if you do miss something for whatever reason, whether it's your energy or something gets in the way or you just forget, whatever, you feel bad about it, and I don't want to feel bad. I want to feel motivated, and I want to feel like I can do better the next day, and so that's why I don't pre-schedule, and why I will be logging. So if you are somebody who likes to use a vertical layout to write a to-do list or to plan your day by the hour, maybe that's not working for you, give this a try. You might find that you're just not using your days the way you thought you were, and you can then reorient your days the way that will maximize your energy and your time. Now this space at the top, I'm going to use to pick out the 3 projects that I want to focus on that day. And like I said, I use the Getting Things Done system. So a project is anything that requires more than 2 steps. So that could be anything from, clean out your closet, which has several steps, or redesign my website, which is something I'm doing now. So after I do my morning pages, I will flip over and just say, okay, today I'm going to focus on my blog redesign, clean out the closet, and could be anything else, whatever. I try to get 3 in. Anything more than 3 is usually too much in terms of your main focus. So then, as I'm going through my day, as I'm logging my time, as I'm picking out things from my to-do list to do, I know where I need to orient myself. I know what I need to orient myself around. So I have this big list of to-dos, and it's organized by project somewhat. So if my focus for the day is my website redesign, I'm not going to focus on anything that's like around the house. I'm not going to focus on maybe a client project if I, have time. So I can zoom in on the things that I have committed myself to do that day. So that's what this space is for. At the bottom, also after my morning pages, I'm going to write my intention for the day. This is like my general focus for the day. It's not necessarily on a specific project. It's not even necessarily about work. It's who do I want to be for that day? What kind of person do I want to be? Where is my focus going to be? Like that. So for example, I don't say hi to people in my building very often. I'm a little bit shy. So I might say for my intention today, just smile more, be positive, focus on the little things. Or it could be specific to a project, but it could just, whoever it is that you want to be that day, set that intention for the day in the morning and use that to really have everything else pivot around that. So if your intention for the day is to smile more, to be more positive, with everything you do, you're going to be more positive. Maybe your intention for the next day is to be more serious, like maybe you're a little bit flighty. So whatever you do that day, be serious about it, be focused. Make that promise for the day, and I swear your day will be completely different. So what happens with me is, especially during my slump times, I'll start to, lose track, and I'll get like tired and lazy, or not even necessarily during my slump day, but I might just lose focus. So let's say that my intention for the day is or my projects for the day is, redesign my blog, and then be serious. So let's say, it's 9 o'clock and I'm watching YouTube cat videos. I'll just glance at this and say, okay, this is not who I want to be today. I do not want to be somebody who looks at cat videos on YouTube instead of getting work done. And it super helps me refocus. So that's pretty much how I use my vertical layout here, or how I will be using it. I do a somewhat similar version of this already, but this will really help me, I think, get everything in one place and just help me like see the week in focus. At the end of the week, I'll take a look and say, okay, like when was I at my highest and lowest energies? Did I keep my promises? I'll check things off. How can I do better the next week? The last page to show you is the calendar page. And like the to-do list, I do not write appointments here. I don't write birthdays or events or anything here. I just use an app. I use my Google Calendar, and that is perfectly good. And I think an app is the best thing for these sorts of things. So what I am going to use this for is to write down at the end of the day one great thing that happened, or one amazing thing that happened that day. So this actually comes, even though this starts in July, for everything else it has a June calendar. So I'm going to show you what I've been doing for June. Let's see here. So this is pretty much the only time I like doodle. I'm what you might call a functional planner. I don't do stickers or anything like that. I don't color coordinate, but I do have a few pens and markers. So this is how my week was. I went on vacation, I went home, I saw my mom, I had drinks with a friend, I met some other friends, I saw Alien Covenant, saw my dad. This is when I came home, I saw my boyfriend, we had smoochies. I went to a baby shower on Sunday. So I can just look back at this and say, oh, I had like a good week. Even if it's something small, like I had a delicious cup of coffee, or found $1, like any little thing can help you see that, hey, like life's kind of okay. Like life's not so bad. And I'm not a particularly unhappy person by any stretch of the imagination, but this does help me a lot, just to say like, it gives me a sense of gratitude and happiness, just to look back and have these memories, and I can just quickly look and have this overview of my week. And I've only done this for a week, as you can see, and I love it. Like I love just looking at this page and thinking like, oh, like what a great week I had. And even though like one of these days I had a fight with my mom, I don't even have to remember that. Like I just look at all these good things, and it just feels nice. So this is similar to the gratitude thing I was talking about. This book, like I start my day with gratitude and I end my day with gratitude, and I just do it on this calendar page because I can see it like, it's just like a nice like it's like a scrapbook almost. So that's why I do it like this. So that's it. That's how I plan on using my Hobonichi Techo 2017 Cousin. I will be doing a video in July to show my progress. Hopefully everything will be filled in, as I said. I have been doing most of this in separate journals now for a while, and I've been liking it. So I'm just really excited to get this all in one space, and then I'll have a nice little log of my life. And this is all about just setting focus and purpose and intention to the day, rather than just like letting my day run me. So I hope you got some ideas for how you can implement some of these tricks into your own planning and your own life. This works perfectly well for a bullet journal. So let me know in the comments what you thought and if you will do something like this. Thank you.